Hey there, retro games fans. This is Andy C from Piece of 8-Bit. Welcome to this week's The Bit Between. Not really the bit between though. The bit between, we normally play a game for sort of 20 minutes or so and talk about it, and it'll be a game I've not played for a while or never played before. But this week we're not doing that. We're going to be doing something a little bit different, and that is an unboxing. And I do love an unboxing, and we'll also be getting some very first impressions on what I'm going to show you. So for those of you who watch the channel, you'll know that as part of my A Month With, I live with a console for 4 weeks, and in this month, January 2026, I am living with the wondrous Intellivision by Mattel, which was the Atari 2600's rival, essentially, or an attempt to be a rival. Didn't quite make the cut, but it is a good console nonetheless. Very sports focused rather than the sort of adventure games that you get on the 2600. Also represents my very first gaming memory, which I will be talking about with you very, very shortly. But coincidentally, and I'd always planned to do the Intellivision through the month of January. That was always my intention, and by coincidence, something has come out which is going to help support me through that month with, and that is called the Intellivision Sprint, which is a reimagined console, which is this thing here. And yes, you may remember the Atari 2600 Plus, which is an Atari console, genuine Atari console, but reimagined for modern years. I think it came out about 2 years ago. This is actually developed by the same company, the same group. I think Atari now own the rights to the Intellivision name and logo. So they've bought out this Intellivision Sprint, which comes with 48 games, I think. No, 45 games, I do apologise. But it also has the ability for us to supposedly put in a USB stick and put other games in there as well. So that's going to be really handy, because it means that I can plug this into the TV in the living room, which I can't really do with this because it's got an RF out. So it works on my TV behind here, which is an older LCD TV with analog tuner in it. So that will probably just live in here and I'll play on that, but I won't be able to do that in the living room. So this is going to be a great opportunity to do that, and it comes with wireless controllers as well. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to unbox this. All I've done is taken it out of the bag and just removed the tape. I haven't lifted the lid on it yet, so you and I together will be the first to see this and get some first impressions. I'm going to hook it up, have a quick look at the menu and a few of the games, and that will be it today. So we'll try and keep it nice and short. This has just come out, so this came out, I actually got this on the 24th of December. So I've had it about 2 weeks. 2 weeks! It came out in the US, I think, at the beginning of December. So it is still pretty new. If you're thinking about getting one, they are out there. I picked this one up from Amazon, but there's quite a few companies that sell it as well. So wasn't particularly expensive. And I can already tell straight away that it's going to be a little bit smaller, but it looks very faithful to the original design, and we'll compare the two. So without any further ado, let's get straight into unboxing and having a look at the hardware itself. I'll see you there. Okay, so I've unplugged the original console over here just so we can have a bit of a comparison of the original and the new reimagined version. So without any further ado, let's get stuck into that. So I mentioned that I've taken the tape off. One of the things I always end up doing when I do these videos is forget to remove the tape, and then I have to re-record it because I've got to remove the tape and I can't get into the box. So hopefully whatever's under here will be nice and easy to get access to, so I don't have to do too many edits. Alright, so let's lift this off, and like I say, this is the first time for me as well. Alright, right, okay, so nothing to remove inside. Oh, new box fresh smell, which is fantastic. Just a little cover on there. Well, you can see straight away just how faithful a recreation this is. If I can just fish this out, it's very light. Obviously, as I mentioned before, a little bit smaller than the original, but you can just see the two of them side by side. Look here, that's the original one at the top there, obviously, and the other one at the bottom there. Very, very faithful recreation. Also tells you just how good a condition my original Intellivision is. It is absolutely mint, which I love. Also quite heavy, so this is actually hurting my arm a little bit. But yes, a very faithful recreation, and it is obviously, I would say probably about 80% of the size of the original, which I'm going to put down before my arm falls off. It is kind of heavy. Nice and light. Before we have a good look at this, let's have a look and see what else is in the box. So we've got our just a little sort of quick start guide there for setting up our controllers. They are, in fact, actually, the nice thing about those is I know for a fact, if I can get them out, let me move that out of the way for a second. Controllers are, in fact, wireless, which is quite handy. They're quite nice and very light, actually. You can see that's just trying to connect at the moment. On the original one, we've got those. Let me move this out of the way again. We have these wired controllers here, which were on this sort of old telephone flex lead, which is a bit of a nuisance, bit awkward to tidy away as well at the end. So the advent of wireless, we have got definite advantages there as well. And I know it looks like these just connect to a USB-C connection, which sits in here as well. So that's nice and straightforward as well. Let's see what else is in the box. Let's take our instruction sheet out there. And I imagine probably not much else really. So we've got a USB-C power lead, and we have got oh, what's this? Oh, I know what these are. So these are the little game inserts. So if we just pull these out, you can see these here. This is one of the things that was really cool about this console, was the ability to be able to take one of these, and what you would do is you would slide those into here, and then that would give you context on the controller for the game that you were playing. So these buttons would mean different things. This, oh, it used to be, I'm sure this used to spin round. Let me just check that. Yes, it did. That doesn't spin round. Maybe it's touch sensitive. I guess we'll find out as we play it. And then you've got, this is the controller. These are not the best controllers in the world. That is for sure. In fact, some people think they are dreadful, but I don't mind them. I mean, the games were designed for use of this. I quite like these inserts. I think they're quite cool. I think it's quite a nice way of sort of giving some context. So I've got a couple of boxes of those. So that's going to be interesting, sifting through all of that lot when we get to the game. Let's put that back in there. And then, yes, and then we've got the, I won't bother getting it out of the box, we've got the obligatory HDMI cable in there as well, of which I now have millions of them. So yeah, first impressions. Let me just put that back in there. First impressions, pretty good. It's pretty faithful to the original design. We've got our nice little wood panelling effect along the front, as was fashionable in those days. And we've got our wireless controllers on the top, so that's going to make life much easier to play. So yes, let's have a go at getting this set up, and I'll show you what the first screen looks like, and you can get some initial first impressions. So let's do that right away. So here we go. This is the Intellivision Sprint starting up, and I think I've already been in and set the controllers up. Very easy to do. There's a few bits on the back. So you've got your HDMI port, you've got your USB ports, which I believe is where we can plug in our USB stick, and there's some sync buttons, and basically you hold the sync buttons down on your controller and on the back of the console, and it sets up the controllers via Bluetooth super quick. So that was really easy. So we're into the main screen now. Asks us to select a language the first time we go in, and this is a very familiar looking carousel. You get this on a lot of these reimagined consoles, but very similar to the 2600 Plus. And we can just scroll through here and we can see there's loads of games in here, some of which I own. So baseball I own. I think there's Buzz Bombers, which is another game I own. Don't have loads of games for this. Got golf, Night Stalker. What we're going to do is we're going to play Space Armada. Yep, soccer, Space Armada. Just quickly scroll through. We'll come back to that in a second. Largely considered to be a little bit more capable than the 2600 in terms of graphics and the sort of gameplay, but obviously not anything like as popular. So let's go back here. I'm just going to load this up. I'm doing this through my capture card, so it's going to be a little bit of a nuisance because I have a slight delay, so I'm not expecting to be very good at this, but if I hit enter on that, and then I'm going to put the little insert into my controller, and I think we're good to go. So if I press game, so I'm going to press game, there we go, and then in theory we should just be able to move the laser. Here we go. I don't know how you press fire. How do you press fire? Is it this one? Oh, it's on the side. It even tells me on the thing. Oh, too late. As you can see, this is a bit of a Space Invaders rip-off here. Yeah, it's not very responsive. And that is my video capture card, not the game itself. You get the idea. Very Space Invaders. Lots of Space Invaders clones like this. And yeah, there we go. So that's first impressions. How do I get back to the start is the question. Do I press... Oh, I can pause there. Interesting. Okay, and not quite sure how to get back home. Do I guess I just hit reset, do I? Yes. There we go. So there you go. That's my first impressions. Seem quite good so far. I'm not sure what other options we've got. Let's have a quick look at other things that we can do here. So what's under our options? Change our display. We can go for more of a 4x3, or we can go for... Well, that's it. 4x3 or 16x9 with the borders on there. But yeah, good selection of games. Oh, I see. That's quite cool as well. So if we're playing games, we get that. Those are the little inserts basically that you put into the actual thing itself as well. So pick a different game. Let's pick Frog Bog. What should controls look like for that? They are quite cool. I do like these. I mean, they're limited. Put it that way. This is a game I will probably do for the bit between, as it's a game that I own on cartridge as well. But yeah, good selection of games in here. Quite a few that I own, quite a few that I don't own actually. One game that's not in here is the game that I'm going to be doing as my first game in memory, so I'm not going to tell you what that is, but that is not here. So I'm going to try and have a go at side-loading that as well. So there we go then. That is it. I'm not going to talk much more now. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the Intellivision throughout the month. We'll be looking at the original console and the Sprint as well. But first impressions on this Sprint here seem pretty good. So I'm probably just going to leave it there for the day. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you do enjoy these videos, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Just leaves me to say, please do all take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.